Hello again. So I have a really special tip today that I think can help a lot of photographers, especially people who want to shoot in a very easy way to add some light to a photograph. So I was looking at yesterday's videos that I had produced for this blog, and my face looked dark, and I was like, I need to add a little bit of light. But my studio is daylit, and if I face this way, there's a lot of sun on me, but if I face this way, there are no windows behind the camera, so I added a light. But the problem with lighting sometimes is the apparatus. And I'm not a big fan of the apparatus. The light stands, the cords, the sandbags, all of the elements that go into lighting make it so that it takes up a lot of space, and it's heavy, and there's a lot of cords, there's a lot of extension cords. I just don't like it. And when I shoot video, you need a constant light source. And when you shoot stills, you don't, but it helps to be able to see it. But if you use tungsten lights, I find the heat from those lights is so great, and to modify them, it takes a lot, and you need barn doors, you need scrims, and it's, again, a lot of equipment. So years ago, probably 3 years ago, I was walking into a thrift store, and they had a SAD light on the ground. And I thought, what's that? And it actually stands for sunlight affected disorder, I believe. And it's made for people in parts in the northern hemisphere like Alaska who they don't have any sunlight sometimes in the winter because of the way the sun rises and sets in their part of the world. So they get a little depressed. And so they created these lights that are 5600K, which is the color of daylight. And they're bright, and they're a single box. I call them a portable window. And this is what they look like. So this is like, I don't know, maybe 16, 18 inches on the short side and 24 inches on the long side. It has a simple cord. It doesn't take up a lot of power, but it's got fluorescent tubes inside. And some of them have 2 switches, so you can have like half power and full power. And it's got flat sides. It can just sit on the table. So right now I have one of these sitting over on my desk, and I'm able to put a light on into this setup without the apparatus, which to me is incredibly important and helpful. And the fact that they're daylight balanced, I don't have to gel them to match the light coming in from outside from my windows. There's no heat. There's no difficulty working with them. You can turn them to make them brighter or softer. You could put something in front of them like a piece of silk, but they have these front plastic frosts that are already softer than a lot of lights that are even made now. I was doing a photo shoot actually it was a video shoot for the Air Force, and we were at an Air Force base, and they suggested, well, we have a studio here. Instead of using your lights, do you want to use our lights? And I thought, okay. And they had these LEDs that are in cases, and we put them on light stands, and they were all daylight balanced, and it was real expensive lighting. But it actually was a really harsh light, and they had no modifiers to soften it, like a piece of silk or a piece of frost that you could put over the light. And I was sitting there thinking, this is really good quality equipment, but I wish I had my SAD light on. And I had them with me, but we chose not to use them, to use the facility's studio and to let them use their own lighting. But it was one of those things where I bought it for 80 bucks at the thrift store. Since then, I find them on eBay, and I pay maybe 60 to 120 maybe for them. I don't think you have to pay more than 120 for these lights that are around. And then real recently, I was at it was like a junk shop, an antique store in a town just north of here, and I'm walking through looking to see what's out there, and there was this wedge light. It was a triangle. It's about this tall, and it has a front face that's about like this, and it said Sunbox Junior on it. I think it was marked like $6. And it was by the Sunray Company, which is who makes these lights. And I'm like, that is one of those SAD lights that's going to be really bright, and it's small and it'll fit on a windowsill. And that's great for like a little extra light somewhere. So of course I picked that up. And the folks selling it obviously thought it was just a light. They had no idea for what. And a lot of lights that you might buy, they wouldn't be so good for photography, but these are great for photography because they are daylight balanced. You can put them and use them with where window light already exists, and you're not changing color balance. And anyway, I just think they're a fascinating light source. We've shot films with them. We've shot videos with them. We've had films in film festivals with these lights. It's a very easy way to work. They sit on the edge of bars if you're doing a bar scene, or the edge of the windowsill in the kitchen if you're doing a kitchen scene. They create light that is easy to use without a lot of apparatus, which is my favorite thing. So anyway, maybe you'll be inspired to find one. Maybe you'll see one for sale in your local thrift store, or check online, and they're around. And let me know if you use one, what you think. All right, thanks for watching.